What's going on, everybody? It's your man Lyndon Britt from successwithlyndon.com, also the founder of Home Run Marketing, where we cover all bases of your business. And today on Tips at 2 with Lyndon, we're going to be talking about a nice little topic which I hope gives you a great breakthrough today. So stay tuned to the very end. I've got some great things to be able to share with you. But we're going to be talking about how there's growth in struggle. There's growth in struggle. Let me cut these notifications off so I'm not getting a whole bunch of dings and stuff while we're going on. But Facebook says they're building up my audience, letting everybody know I'm live. I want to say hello to everyone. Thank you for tuning in if you're here live. If you are watching the recording, you can fast forward about a minute or so. This is where the content is going to begin, but I'm going to give you a little bit of information about myself as to why you should even listen to what I have to say for you. All right. But today, like I said, we're going to be talking about how there's growth in struggle. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. When I was first introduced to working, period, I began working at the age of 16 years old. I always wanted my own money because growing up, I asked my dad for stuff. My dad always made me pay him back. So I was like, well, I want my own money, so I don't have to always pay somebody back. So I began working. I began to chase money. And what happened, I did so much so I ended up working 3 jobs shortly after my second year in college, until one day I fell asleep behind the wheel of the car and had an accident about 10 seconds from my home. Changed my life. I was smart enough not to have car insurance at the time, so I really had to start all over. And at that point, I was introduced by a friend of mine I was working with to network marketing. I love the concept, love the way it was growing. I love the fact that you become your own business owner. You could become an entrepreneur and actually own your own business, which is something I had always wanted to do, as well as become an architect in school. And so I pursued network marketing. And what happened when I got into the industry, it was always like, okay, you invite 3 people who tell 3 people, and you're going to, by the time you get 30, 60 days in, you'll be making $5,000 or $10,000 a month. But that wasn't the case. So end up chasing dreams of money. And I was like, well, maybe this isn't the right company. So I started jumping from company to company to company, looking for the right company to be able to make it happen. So one day, a few years ago, I found out exactly what it wasn't the company, it was me. I began to learn the concept called attraction marketing, which helped me actually grow my business and grow my network, as well as beginning to grow my net worth, which is one of the greatest things could have ever happened to me. It's developed me into more of a better person as well. But that's a little bit of my story about me, and that's how I got introduced to this industry. And so a lot of things that I share of things that I've learned as I've begun on my journey of attraction marketing. So, but we're going to, like I said, digress on more of me. I want you to know a little bit about what I'm going to share with you today. There's growth in the struggle, because there's something that you may or may not be going through, have gone through, or will be going through in the future, which is actually going to help you quite a bit. And so I want to share that information with you. Share some information that's going to help you be able to reach those goals that you want to reach. All right. So as you're viewing in here, this is where the content going to begin. So if you're just now tuning in, once again, my name is Lyndon Britt from successwithlyndon.com, also the founder of Home Run Marketing, where we cover all bases of your business. And we're about to get right into it. So as you view, all my live viewers, if you're watching this recording as well, let me know where you're viewing from. I myself am here in we're back to sunny Dallas, Texas. We're not freezing again like we were the other day. Texas weather is just crazy, man. We go to 60, we'll be at 70 tomorrow. Matter of fact, we'll be 70 for the rest of the week, but it was like 19 degrees like a day or two ago. That's Texas for you. All right, so let's hop right into this content. If y'all are ready for it, give me some thumbs up, some smiles. If you can hear me just fine, everything's okay. We about to get into this thing. And just to let you know, if you like the value, if you've been on my lives before, go ahead and hit that share button, because you know I'm about to bring in some value. But if it's your first time tuning in, it's your first time watching me, hit that share button if you get value from it. If you get value from this message, don't even hit the share button until you get it, because I want to make sure you get your time's worth. All right, we're gonna spend just a little bit of time, but I want you to react with me. Let me know what's going on with you. Let me know how everything acts. If you got any questions or subject or topic or just an opinion to be able to state on the issue, go ahead and put that in the comments as well. I love referring back, and I'm going to interact with you as we do. All right, so we're going to go right into the content. Growth. There's growth in the struggle. There's growth in the struggle. So one of the questions that I asked in the preview video, the pre-video that I put up for this topic is, how many of y'all have ever had the time to, you've hurt yourself before? You've done something, whether it was you stumped your toe, if you hit your knee, if you fell, you scraped some, you hurt some kind of way. How many of y'all have ever hurt yourself? By show of hands. You show the hand and hit the thumbs up or the hearts button, whatever. Me personally, I've done it several times. I've got countless bumps and bruises and scratches and scrapes and scars all over my body from things that I've done. But what does that do? What does that do? That shows it's a lesson learned. There's a lesson learned in that. Okay, there's a learning. There's a lesson in every single thing that you do. There's a lesson. Let me put it like that. I've heard it like that before. It made a lot more sense. There's a lesson in everything that you do. Now, a lot of people look at struggle as a downfall. They look at struggle as a bad thing. If I'm struggling, I'm doing bad. If I'm struggling, they don't see a way out of it. If they're struggling, they can't seem to move on. If they're struggling, there are no positive results coming out of that. I hope to twist that mindset for you and give you a little bit of a different way to look at things. I want to give you a different perspective on that because, like I said, there is growth in struggle. I'm going to give you a couple examples, but stay tuned. Stay to the very end because I'm going to show you exactly. I'm going to give you an idea and the concept of exactly how struggle can benefit you. Okay. So one of my first examples is lifting weights. Everybody that knows me knows that I love fitness. I'm into the fitness world and working out and stuff like that. Lifting weights. When you're lifting weights, if you ever lifted weights before, you can imagine what it's like to lift weights. When you grab a lower pound weights, it's not a problem to do curls, the bench press, squats, all that kind of stuff. Sometimes it becomes very difficult the more resistance that you add. See, weights add more resistance. So what happens when you get a resisting point that is too much to struggle? You begin to struggle with your weight lift, whether you bench press, curl, whatever. It becomes very difficult to do. It becomes hard to lift the stuff. Here we go. I had to do a pause, make sure everything was cool. It becomes a struggle to lift the weight. Whether you're doing squats, whether you're doing bench press, whether you're doing curls, I don't care what it is you're doing, it becomes a struggle. Okay. But what happens when you begin to lift more and more often? It gets a little bit easier. Okay, so guess what happens then? You're able to advance to more heavier weights if that's your goal. All right, so what about losing weight? That's a huge struggle for a lot of the industry right now, a lot of people in the world right now. Losing weight is very difficult no matter what you do, whether it comes down to and a lot of people that say they can't lose weight, they only look at one specific way they could lose weight, and if that one way doesn't work, then it's like they give up, they quit. I got a friend of mine that told me the other day, she was like, well, I want to know, how can I lose this weight? I can't get rid of this stubborn belly fat. I said, what are you doing? She said, I'm doing sit-ups. I said, how you doing? When are you doing sit-ups? I do them every night. I say, so how long have you been doing them? I've been doing them for 1 month. So you've been doing sit-ups every night for 1 month. I do about 20, 25 of them at a time. I do them every night at 1 month. And I say, okay, so how are you eating? And then she said, I'm only eating 1 month. I say, that's where your problem lies. Your problem lies, and I won't go there, just a small story, but I was like, your problem lies is you're starving your body. What's going on, Mr. Corey? Appreciate you hopping in here. You're starving your body. And I say, I want you to think about it this way, and this is an example that I gave her. I say, imagine a child that is starving. They live on the street, and then you give them something to eat, and they take their food, and they hoard it, and they hold on to it. So if anything tries to reach out and take their food, what do they protect it. I say, your body is the same way. So if you give your body 1 meal a day, it's going to hold on to everything that they have. It's going to hold on to all that fat, everything that you give it, because it feels like it's going to starvation. It goes into protect mode. My whole idea is to protect myself. I'm not going to have anything to eat for the next 24 hours. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hold on to this and feed off of this. Why would I give this back to you so I can starve? That's what your body does. It's a struggle. So it becomes a struggle to lose weight. A lot of people want to know. And by the way, if you're trying to lose weight, eating once a day, use that example. Don't do that. You're actually hurting yourself eating once a day, trying to lose weight, if that's your goal. Okay. So I won't go into details about that, but that's just an example. Okay. So it becomes a struggle to lose weight. So what are different ways you can start to do it? Whether you eat better, you eat more for one thing, you actually exercise, you watch what you eat. Not only just eat more, but you watch what you eat. You sometimes you may have to do. One thing I used to hate doing was calorie counting. It was like, I hate counting carbs and calories, all that kind of stuff, but it's necessary. Why do you think a lot of bodybuilders do that kind of stuff? Because it's necessary to be able to learn what your body can and can't do. All right, so I give you another example of struggle. Financial struggles. We'll go into this. Financial struggles. A lot of people have a struggle with, when they first go into this thing, bill management. A lot of times, or money management, not necessarily just bills, money management. A lot of people mismanage their money and end up in so much debt. a lot of debt. One thing that I learned, which I really grasped from listening to audios and stuff like that, this past week, was that a lot of debt that people have is because of something selfish, something selfish that they wanted. It's because of selfish gain. A lot of debt that we create is based on something that we want to have, not something that we need. And it made a lot of sense to me. It said a lot of times people, you go sign a contract, 2-year contract for something that you want, that you didn't have to have now. You go sign a year contract, you go buy something that was, and not necessarily out of your means, it was something that you didn't have to have at the moment, and create more debt for yourself. It's something that you want. And a lot of people can actually get out of debt if they got out of that mindset of, I have to have this. You do a lot of emotional purchasing. So money management is a huge thing from that, but it becomes a struggle for a lot of people that don't know how to manage the money. All right, so if y'all are getting some value from me, if you're understanding me, give me some thumbs up, some heart. If you agree, give me some thumbs up, some heart. If you ever been at a point where you were having struggles with money management or bill management, and I'm not talking about even right now, just if you've just experienced it before, give me some thumbs up, some hearts, just to let me know that you even agree. All right. One of the other things that a lot of people may struggle with is business. Okay, I see it as an entrepreneur myself. I see a lot of people that can't get leads. They don't get leads in their business. They don't get sales in their business. They don't get recruits in their business. For a lot of people in this industry, and it becomes a struggle. It's a struggle. Be like, I can't figure this thing out. I know I want to do this thing. It was just like me when I first got in the market. I know I want to do this, but I'm having such a hard time. How do you get leads? How do you create this funnel? How am I supposed to create this capture page? How am I supposed to do a blog? And it's a struggle trying to figure out how exactly you're supposed to be a business person with so many things that it feels like you got a buffet of things to do to be able to grow your business, and you pick and choose. You can't figure out what you want to go for first. It becomes a struggle to grow the business. And this was a lot of people begin to look at it through all these examples I just gave. They look at those struggles in a negative sense and feel, how can I break? I can't seem to break through this stinking thinking, or what I call it, this stinking thinking, to be able to find the success in my business. So everybody say, okay, I hear you talking about the struggles, but where's the growth in that? Where's the growth in that? Now, this is what I want you to understand. If you continuously and consistently learn how to do the things that you want to do, that you're trying to accomplish, you will begin to find a breakthrough. And stick with me to the very end, because I still got a little bit for you. If y'all still with me, give me some thumbs up, some hearts. I mean, feed it up. All right. One thing that happened. What happens when you continue lifting weights? You continue lifting those weights, it becomes a struggle to get that bar off your chest. It becomes a struggle to stand back up when you squat it all the way down. What happens is your body begins to look better. You start getting that tone you want. You start getting that definition that you want. And what happens when people see that? The first thing be like, man, you're so defined, dude. You're starting to get big, man. You starting to get thick. I'm starting to see the difference. People start paying attention to you. Not all along, people have been understand this, and I said this before, people have been paying attention to you the entire time, but when they begin to see the results is when they say something to you, okay? So they begin to say, man, you starting to look more defined. Man, last time I saw you, you look like this, man. You starting to look good. And what happened when you lose those weight? For you men and you women, whenever you happen to lose that weight, you lose those stubborn pounds. Everybody see you big, and all of a sudden next time they see you or they watch you on your journey, be like, man, you starting to lose weight. You starting to slim down. You starting to drop down. Like, what you been doing, man? Did you go get that surgery? You go get that surgery in your stomach and stuff? Be like, nah, man, I put in the work. I went in and I decided I took that struggle and turned it into growth. I grew from that. I understood what I had to begin to learn how to do to be able to get the results that I wanted, and I put in the work. That's exactly what I did. So that's how, but people notice you begin to get those results. Just like I said in money management, in the business, the bill management that I began to say, people trying to figure out, man, every time we turn over something, he got to borrow money. Every time we go somewhere, some got to pay. He can't never go, or she can't never go because they ain't never got any money. What's going on, Mr. Jason? I see you, man. Appreciate you hopping in here. A lot of people are like, he can't never go anywhere, can't even got any money. But all of a sudden, you begin to learn how to manage your money. You be able to take care of bills. You begin to stop spending unnecessary spending on things. Like that one time after dinner that you spent $110. I understand every now and then you got to go out. And this happened to me before. I'm needing to pay this bill, but I go out to eat and spend $110 in a matter of a few days on food, knowing I could have spent that on something else. But what happens when you learn how to manage your money and you stop doing that, and all of a sudden when people begin to see you more and more often, oh man, you went out of town. Didn't you just go out of town last week? Didn't you just go out of town last month, and you going out of town this month? and you going out of town, and y'all going on vacation, all of a sudden people begin to see you able to take those trips. Like how you learn how to manage your money, and people start paying attention to that. Like, man, every time I turn around, you was working. Now every time I see you traveling, people start to pay attention, and now you have access to be able to start having more funding. You start bill management become a better thing. You start having some growth from that because you learn from those struggles. You learn, I can't do this. I can't continue to do this if I ever want to get the money, if I ever want to reach the goals I want to financially. So you begin to grow from the mistakes that you made. Even in your business. What happened in your business? I couldn't get those sales. I couldn't get those leads. I couldn't get those commissions. I couldn't figure out how to recruit more people. I couldn't figure out how to get that blog. And all of a sudden you continue to do it. You stuck with it. And through that struggle, you learn what you needed to do step by step. Why? Because you begin to focus on one thing at a time rather than that whole buffet that I mentioned before. So you know what? Instead of me focusing on beans, greens, potatoes, lamb, I'm just playing. Instead of focusing on all that kind of stuff, you said, you know what? I'm going to eat this right here. And I'm going to focus on this right here. And guess what happened? You begin to flourish and master. You begin to master those things right there. When you begin to focus on that one thing. And guess what happened? What does people say? What do people all begin to be able to say? Oh man, I see you everywhere now. Well, you got all this from that business that you used to tell me about? You still doing that business? Okay, I need you. Okay, tell me a little bit about the business. All of a sudden, everybody wants to hear. Everybody wants to hear about their business all of a sudden. The one that they didn't want to hear about a while ago, but when they start seeing you succeed, and all of a sudden they start seeing your ads on Facebook when they scroll down because they happen to fall to a certain category. Maybe they happen to see more of your videos on YouTube. Maybe they see a video, they just happen to check on you because once again, I told you, they still watching you. They just happen to see a video that got 2,000 or 3,000 hits on it within a matter of a few hours or a few days. And they're like, man, I didn't know he had so many people looking at him. All of a sudden they want to know more. So what happened? There was growth in that struggle, correct? You went through all that stuff for a reason, and the whole time it was so hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel because, believe it or not, your road was shaped like this. You can see a lot of people try to figure out why I can't see I'm walking down this dark tunnel and I can't see the light because, believe it or not, your tunnel is shaped like this. So understand, when you're going up that hill, you'll never see that light. But when you reach the top, all of a sudden you're having to look down. You see that light at the end of the tunnel. You went through those hard times. You climbed that hill, and all of a sudden you got me like, whoa, there's that yellow brick road right there. Before it was black, but now all of a sudden you see it. So what happens? This is how you begin to see the growth from this struggle. What happens? So now you want to figure out how you begin to get more definition. You want to figure out how you begin to get more lose those pounds. You want to begin how to be better at money management. You want to become a better business person to get more people attracted to you looking at your business. What happens in order for you to get even further growth is people begin to see that light and they do a lot of marketing for you. I don't know if you got that. Okay. Let me know. Let me put it like this. How many of y'all have ever gotten more exposure because somebody else was talking about you, not because you were talking about you? When people share your content, when people talk about your content. Let me ask you a question. Your prime example. How do you think you know about a lot of the top marketers? How do you think you know about a lot of the biggest bodybuilders? How do you think you know about some of the biggest losers on TV? How do you think you know about the sharks that happen to be on like Shark Tank, stuff like that? Because people spoke of their praise. They talked about them, which gave them even more exposure. So what happens when you begin to grow in your struggle is people begin to market for you. They begin to put you out there. People begin to put that information, start tagging you and stuff. Start putting you out there, and all of a sudden that expands and that brand begins to grow a little bit more. Okay? My boy Kevin said word of mouth. Absolutely. You ain't never lying. They wait for you to fail. A lot of people wait for you to fail. But I still see it today, believe it or not, regardless of how long I've been doing it, who I talk to, still see it today. But understand, the same people that doubted you. Yeah. Okay, we go back to Bill. You remember doubting Tom? Man, I'm not even gonna take you out there. We'll be on here another hour. But that you begin to get that growth in the struggle, because what happens is people begin to sing that praise from the success they begin to see you have, because you grew from the struggles that you had. See, the struggle that you had in the very beginning is not the same struggle you'll have at the end. It's not, as long as you remain consistent. The problem is people quit during the struggle. People quit when the times get hard. People quit when I don't have the money coming in, and I just don't understand. I don't have the people. I don't have the support behind me that says I can do it. I don't have anybody that's telling me I can do it. I don't have any. Guess what? That's part of the struggle. Understand you are not the first and only person that's gone through that. I can list off, like, literally on my fingers right now, say some names, I kid you not, of some people in my family. I wouldn't do that, but I'm just saying I could actually go down a list of names of people that told me I couldn't do something. I couldn't do something. Believe it or not. And I love the example that I use. I was talking to a guy this morning about my baseball career, me pursuing Major League Baseball. I was 30 years old. I'm 35 now. I was 30 years old. And for those of y'all that know about sports, especially professional sports, 30 years old is almost industry old, especially when it comes to baseball, because they start recruiting people as low as 15 and 16 from different countries, Dominican Republic and a lot of, and even here for that matter. But I was 30 years old, and I went to pursue my dream of playing Major League Baseball. I heard about so many things behind my back from so many people that told me I couldn't do it, I shouldn't do it. You got stuff to take care of. You got bills, you got family, you got this. Like, you know what? I also got that taken care of. I learned how to manage the money. I learned how to be a why, because it was something, regardless of what everybody was saying, and it was a struggle making that happen. I got to pursue my dream. And what happened? I was talking to one of the guys this morning. I got pulled into the office when I was at camp down there in Florida by the New York Yankees scout, and he said, and I thought I'd done something wrong, give me an invitation to be able to represent the U.S. to play in Italy. I was like, you talk about excited. I'm like, a Yankee scout just asked me. He say, I went to play third base, but he told me he wanted me to be his starting first baseman. You talk about shocked and surprised. I'm like, heck yeah, I want to do it. Yes, I'm in there. Now, there's a little bit more to this story. I have to talk about that later, because that wasn't the goal of this. But that's what I'm saying. Through the odds of all the naysaying, all the negativity that I heard, and the reason, and for me being told that I couldn't get signed because I was industry old at the age of 30 years old and pursuing baseball, when I was the oldest person at the camp, the youngest person that was 15, and the person closest to me that was there was 23, 7 years off. So they were looking at them more than they look at me, but that didn't stop me from pursuing my goal. You got to understand, that was a struggle that I was willing to take to be able to pursue my dreams. If you got something that you're pursuing right now, understand there's growth in your struggle. You cannot stop when you have a struggle. That is your growth period. This is where you learn to see what you're made of. This is where you figure out, dude, I can do this, regardless of what they say I can't. How many times, and I'm not in the Marines. I heard my guy Corey talk about it. I heard my guy John Riley talk about this. And even my guy Joseph Walker, they're military men. I can't remember how many times, and I was not personally there, but I guarantee you at least one of them were told they couldn't do something at some point. You're not going to make it, soldier. You hear this stuff in the movies, and a lot of times they may be real. You're going through boot camp, and they do that kind of stuff not to get in your head, but just to pull the best out of it. They want those people that are going to defy. You're not going to tell me what I'm not going to do, and they pull it out of them, and all of a sudden, we knew you'll make it. It was just up to you to probably trying to reach that point where you had to pull it out of yourself, because nobody can make you do it. You got to want it bad enough for yourself. And guess what? I'm pretty sure those gentlemen experienced that. And by the way, thank you, gentlemen, for serving our country. And anybody else on here that happened to hop on here and serve our country, thank you so much. But that's just an example. If you want it bad enough, you've got to grow in that struggle that you got going on right now. Whether it be fitness, whether it be personal, whether it be business, there's a growth in your struggle. If you're a business entrepreneur and you're struggling in your business right now, and you're trying to figure out how exactly can I grow from this point on. Appreciate it, John. He said he loved my story. People can't do it because they don't have. Exactly. It's so backwards. A lot of people have that backwards. They feel, I don't have it to do. I don't have it to do. Guess what? That's why you want to do it. So at some point, you don't keep saying I don't have. That's how you get. Guess what? I don't have muscle right now. I don't have any muscle, so I can't lift weights. I don't have any muscle, so I can't lift weights. It hurts to lift that. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep lifting till eventually I say, now I got the muscles to lift even more. Example. Just tossing it out there. But if you just happen to be a business person, an entrepreneur, trying to figure out how can I actually grow my business online? I want more time with my family. I want more time with my friends. I want to be able to I want to be able to be financially independent. I want to be able to not have that money issue. I don't want to have that time issue. I want to learn how to do this and do this the right way. And I understand it's going to be a struggle, but I'm willing to grow in my struggle. I just need somebody to help me. I need the direction to figure out how I can do it. Make sure you meet me over at successwithlendon.com. Send me an inbox, whatever. Get in contact with me. I want to help you get your breakthrough in your business. This is January the 9th, 2017. This is second week of the year. You got 51 more weeks to make you begin to step and walk into your purpose. And I know you want it. I know you want it. If you're watching this live and you want it and you just need some direction to figure out, inbox me. Meet me over at successwithlendon.com. I've got several ways to be able to help you begin to move you in the right direction. Whether you own your own now, this isn't just join my business type of thing, just letting you know that right now. If you have your own business, I can show you different ways and share with you different techniques I use to grow my business that can help you grow yours. If you're looking for a business opportunity that you're actually looking for success for, to be able to get that second income or even that first income because you're not doing anything at the moment, or what you're doing isn't working, or you just looking for something different, something fresh, you want a fresh start, inbox me for that as well. Message me. I will give you information you need to be able to help you, and not only help you, but take your hand along the way for just a little while, get you moving in the right direction. Be like, hey, you've got somebody that got your back. You've got a support group to be able to help you in growing your business. Inbox successwithlendon.com. Successwithlendon.com. On the right hand side, you see a section that says got questions. Put your name, your number in there. Message me, whether you inbox me here or whatever. Get in contact with me because I want to help you. I want to help you. All right. So if you got some value from this post today, from this message today, there's growth in the struggle. Give me some hearts up. I told you, if this is your first time on my live, you happen to be watching this, whatever. If you got some value from this thing, hit the share button. Share this thing out to a lot of people that you're connected with that I'm not. Even folks that and this isn't just an online thing. You can learn how to grow an offline business with the techniques and strategy I want to show you as well. So be sure you connect with me, add me on as a friend. If we're not already friends, you just happen to be watching this live stream because somebody invited you, make sure you add me on as a friend. Let's connect. I want to begin helping you walk in your purpose and grow your dream for 2017 as well. All right, so I appreciate you all hopping in here. You all have a blessed and wonderful day. You got some value. Give me some likes, some comments, some shares, and I've got several other free trainings and tips and information and other videos that covers a variety of topics over at facebook.com/LendonBritt, the number 2, as well as several different videos over at successwithlendon.com, along with some free training and some other tools I'll be able to provide for you to be able to help you grow your business online as well and offline. All right, but you all have a blessed and wonderful day. Appreciate you hopping in here. Hope you got some great value. I'll be responding back to each and every one of these comments, even whether it was live, because I didn't get a chance to read a lot of them on there. And I thank you all for hopping in here. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day, and I will see y'all tomorrow for Tipsy 2. All right. Thank you, Mr. Corey.